I was experiencing arrhythmias for about 5 years, heart arrhythmias. Sometimes I barely could walk. I had to stop walking, make some maneuvers and tensing the chest to bring the heart back into rhythm, and then I was able to keep walking. I was having difficulties to sleep at night, and I was waking up with arrhythmias, and sometimes they lasted for hours. Doing these maneuvers, I was able to bring the heart back into rhythm, but it was lasting just a few seconds, and then it was going back to arrhythmia. I was aware that magnesium is involved in heart health as well as the rhythms of the heart. But I was taking fairly large amounts of magnesium oxide, and I thought that I was covering my needs for magnesium. However, magnesium oxide is ineffective, and it accelerates your intestinal transit so that the absorption of minerals in general decreases. So I even went to a cardiologist, and I was working with him to see if I could get a medication that could help me to bring the heart back into rhythm. But it was cumbersome and expensive, of course. I did some tests, but the tests didn't show much because the condition was entering into remission for periods of time, and then it was coming back. And during the time that I took the tests, it was into remission. But it didn't last long, and then the arrhythmias came back, and with revenge. So one day, my sister, who is also interested in holistic medicine, she sent me a video from a doctor, a holistic doctor, that speaks about the rhythms of the heart and who controls these rhythms. And he explains something very simple, that there are 4 minerals involved. They are potassium, sodium, magnesium, and calcium. Out of these 4, he explained that magnesium is the master key, is the one that is directing the show. So I remembered that I was, of course, supplementing with magnesium oxide, but that the literature was kind of blurred about, or contradictory about, whether magnesium oxide really helped to increase magnesium in the body. And therefore I decided to take magnesium citrate in large amounts. I began taking about 5 grams per day in a powder form. You just put it in water, dissolve it well, otherwise it will create like a stone at the bottom of the glass, so you got to be careful to stir the water and dissolve all the magnesium. The first day after the first dosage, I noticed a slight change in the rhythms of the heart. Very slight, but it was like the arrhythmias were less aggressive. The arrhythmias I was having were so aggressive that sometimes I had to restart the heart. The heart was stopping, and I had to make some maneuvers with the chest tensing, and the heart was coming back into beating again. So this aggressive aspect stopped. with the first dosage. But still I had plenty of arrhythmias. So I kept going. And in about a month, 90% of the arrhythmias were gone. Today, after a month and a half, 98% are gone. I was so desperate with the problem that I had to get a permit to park in parkings for disabled people. Because if I had to go to a store and I had to walk too much, it was getting really difficult. During the walking I had to stop many times just to bring the heart back into rhythm. So what's going on with magnesium? Why this mineral is so key to human health today? Well, there is a scientist that put a lawsuit against the FDA for not supplementing magnesium in the water in America, in the United States. That lawsuit, as far as I know, has been going on for 20 years. But the FDA, instead of supplementing with magnesium in the water, they supplement with fluor, which is a poison. Now, why this scientist entered this lawsuit? Because when you harvest the vegetables in mainstream agriculture, after the harvesting, to make sure that you will get a nice harvest next year, you put back into the soil 3 minerals: nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, NPK. But they don't put back magnesium. Magnesium is not indispensable to get a nice harvest because the plants can do without it, but we human beings cannot. So every year the plants pull the magnesium out of the soil into the plant. You eat the plants, get some magnesium, but the magnesium is not put back into the soil. The result is a magnesium deficiency everywhere in the planet, in the soil. So the numbers are indicating that 70% of the American population has a magnesium deficiency. And so what? Well, magnesium is involved in 600 different enzymatic reactions. A deficit in magnesium will create multiple symptoms. And I was having not only heart arrhythmias, I was having other strange symptoms like muscle weakness and others that have been also gradually fading out. So the demons that control this world from the pharmaceutical industry will likely continue making sure that you don't have enough magnesium, because that's a huge business for the pharmaceutical industry. So many diseases have an origin in a magnesium deficiency, and there are multiple drugs that will cover up the symptoms that there is no business in supplementing humanity with magnesium.